Solving equations by factoring. We have two equations we're going to look at today. We're trying to find the solutions for x that when you plug the value in, it makes the equation true. Now, if you're solving it by factoring, the first thing you want to do is get one side equal to 0. So for this first one, I'm going to get the right-hand side 0 by subtracting 9x cubed on both sides. So on the left-hand side, we're going to have x to the 5th minus 9x cubed. And if you subtract 9x cubed on the right-hand side, it's going to give you 0. Now I want to factor the left-hand side. Factoring is you're going to write it as factors multiplying each other. Right now you can see that there's going to be a GCF of these two terms. They both have 3 x's in common. So you want to factor out an x cubed. Factoring an x cubed out of x to the 5th is going to leave you with x squared. And then factoring an x cubed out of here just leaves you with a minus 9. Now the left-hand side is not factored completely because x squared minus 9 can also be factored. That is a difference of squares. So we can factor this completely as x minus 3, x plus 3. That's the difference of squares formula. All right, now what you're going to do is, now we have 3 factors multiplying to give 0. That means one of them, 2 of them, or all 3 of them could be 0. So you're going to set each factor to 0. X cubed equals 0, x minus 3 equals 0, and x plus 3 equals 0. And we got to solve each of these for x. X cubed equals 0, you just cube root both sides. Cube root of x cubed equals cube root of 0. But that just gives you 0. 0 cubed equals 0. That's 0 is going to be the only thing that solves that. And you can check it up here. Does 0 work? Yeah, 0 to the 5th is 0. 9 times 0 cubed is 0. 0 works. So 0 is a solution. This one you're going to add 3 on both sides, and you'll get 3. So 3 is also going to be a solution. And this last one, subtracted on both sides, and you get x equals negative 3. So negative 3 is also a solution. So you get 3 solutions that solve this equation. That's the first one. Let's look at the second one. This one we have x cubed plus 4x squared minus x minus 4 equals 0. With this one, you should notice that you have 4 terms. And when you have 4 terms and you're trying to factor it, the grouping method should come to your mind. Grouping is when you group the first 2 terms and do GCF. The GCF here is x squared. I'm going to factor out an x squared out of x cubed, leaves you x and a 4. And then what you want to do is you want to group the last 2 terms here and also factor out. Now we're trying to make x plus 4 match up. So to do that, you need to factor out a minus 1 or negative 1 out of the last 2 guys. And you can see it works. If you distribute the negative 1 times x gives you that minus x, and negative 1 times 4 gives you that minus 4. Trying to get these parentheses to match up. Now that you have 2 groups separated by a minus sign, you're going to factor out the x plus 4 that's common to both groups. So out of this group, factoring out x plus 4 leaves you with an x squared. And then factoring an x plus 4 out of this group, you're left with a minus 1. This is also a difference of squares, just like we had over here, x squared minus 9. X squared minus 1 is also a difference of squares because 1 squared is 1. So we can go a step forward here, write this as x plus 1, x minus 1. All right, now it's factored completely, the left-hand side here. One of these, 2 of them or all 3 of them have to be 0. One of them has to be 0. So So we're going to set each of them equal to 0 and solve, just like we did the last problem. So we have x plus 4 equals 0, x plus 1 equals 0, or we could have x minus 1 equaling 0. This one, subtract 4 on both sides, you get negative 4. So negative 4 is a solution. If you subtract 1 on both sides here, you get x equals negative 1. So negative 1 is also a solution. And we also have 1. That could be a solution. So we're having 3 solutions here. There you go.